Okay, here we go. We're going to go down to turn 5. Now the Germans have another rifle squad with a light machine gun they can bring on, in addition to the second line squad and leader. Second line squad leader can come in on the south edge. The full rifle and light machine gun can enter anywhere on the east or west, and of course they still have the American off-board artillery strike that they can call for. There's no free rally or smoke or any other than that. We'll go right to the initiative roll. This is a fairly big roll. Germans get 7, the Americans get 6, so the Germans have the initiative, which is exactly what they wanted. 2d6 for German impulse points. Whoa, they get 11. And the Americans get 1d6 plus 3. They roll a 3, so they have 6. So the Germans are going to start out spending an impulse point and attempting to bring in that off-board artillery on this stack. And this is maybe a tactical error that Americans made, putting 2 squads and their leader in one square. The Americans roll for accuracy on their own artillery, a 5 or 6, and it's accurate. They get a 2, so it's inaccurate. Now they will roll for drift direction. They get a 3, so it's going to come this way. And now they roll for the number of squares it drifts, and they get a 3, 1, 2, 3. So off-board artillery really lands here, and in this scenario playthrough won't really have an impact. That was the Germans' turn. The Americans are going to fire 9 to 5 there, +4 column, and it's +1 for a leader. They roll a 12. Boxcars. This man unit second line squad is eliminated. That's 2 casualty points for the Americans, 2 impulse points spent by the Americans, and we put a fired marker on that stack. Now these guys have yet to be able to move, so this is a little worrisome for the Germans. They're going to bring in one of their reinforcements, and they don't really want to put themselves in the line of fire of this big stack. And on the other hand, with 4 movement points, these folks can get there, which allows them to jump Bocage next time. So I think they're going to try to do something a little bit different here. This hex is out of line of sight, and yet will give them opportunity fire capabilities here or here. This is something new I've not tried before. It may turn out to be a mistake. We shall see. Americans are going to pass at this point in time. Germans will try to build cover inside that house. They get a 6, so they're successful. Cover marker goes down. It gives them an extra +1, so they're in a +3 defensive terrain position right now, which is powerful. Americans will pass. The Germans will try to build the cover there. The 3 fails. Americans will pass. Germans will try to get cover there again. 1 fails. Americans will pass. Germans will try to get cover behind this bocage. They get a 5 and they succeed. It bumps up their defense. Americans will pass. The Germans will try to get cover over here. The 2 fails. Americans can no longer pass as their impulse points are equal. So this unit will go 1, 2, 3, 4. We're in a wheat field behind bocage. They'll have a +3 defensive terrain modifier. And they've moved, so these guys only have a firepower of 1 each. Which is like, okay. That's pretty meaningless. These guys are going to attempt, they are going to move here and here. One impulse point. If we move through that hex, these guys will attempt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, no problem. Attempt opportunity fire 5 to 3 on that. -1 for moving fire, so it's on the +2 column. Roll a 6, which converts to a 5, which is a shaken morale check. Got checked for Germans in this scenario is 8. Germans roll an 8, so they make it safely to their destination. These folks are used. Opportunity fire was ineffective, so it's still the Americans' turn. They will pass. These folks will try to get cover once again. And they do. They roll a 6 this time, so they finally build themselves some cover. Two impulses left for each team. The Americans will break this stack up and attempt 1, 2, 3, 4. Attempt to move there. Yeah. They came just straight up these, so we're going to find out what the earliest hex is, where this rifle can take opportunity fire. And it's way back here. So if they get any kind of result, I'll move them way back. So let's spend a impulse point and try opportunity fire back here. You have a 6, so it's a 3 to 4. -1 for moving fire, so it's -1 table and -1 to the die roll. They roll a 4, which converts to a 3, which is ineffective. And those folks get to where they want it to go. Opportunity fire was ineffective, so it's the Germans' turn if they care to. Germans are in bad shape on their left flank. The Americans right. they're really kind of being pushed on both flanks. Next turn they get 2 rifle squads to bring in from any map edge. But well, I'm not sure that's going to help them a whole heck of a lot. So do they want to break their center strong point, sending forces 1, 2. Cover goes away. They have moved. That was 1 squad, 1 impulse point. Germans have no more impulse points, so this guy's actually going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 and pick up that German light machine gun. Germans have no more impulse points. Americans have 1 more. They'll move this leader up 1, 2, 3 to join those folks. And that is the end of turn 5. Doesn't feel good for the Germans right now. However, things can change. There's no pre-initiative die roll things to check, so we're moving to turn 4. Initiative die roll. 10 for the Germans, 8 for the Americans. Germans get initiative. 2d6 impulse points. They only get 6. Which I suppose is about average. The Americans get 1d6 plus 3. They roll a 2. They only get 5. This is a turn where they could really use some movement and fire capabilities. This squad's going to attempt to move 1, 2, 3, get behind that stone wall. And get line of fire joining their teammates here to good fire opportunity down that road. That cost an impulse point. The Americans are going to attempt opportunity fire at this spot. So that will be, they have 6 with the German light machine gun. A degraded line of sight, take them down to 5. The defense, Germans are 4, and they get a 1 defensive modifier for being in that orchard. So it's 5 to 5. 0 column table, but +1 for the leader directed fire. They roll a 3, which is nothing. And that unit gets to where they wanted to go. Opportunity fire was ineffective, so they fired, they didn't move. So it's the Americans' turn again. And they will Let's see, these guys now have a 6, and these guys have a 5 behind the stone wall. These guys will fire 9 to 5, so that's on the +4 table. And it is +1 on the die roll. You roll a 5, which is a 6, which is a broken check. Got check was 8 or better. They roll an 8, so they're fine. That was 2 impulse points. And they fired. These guys have a defense of 7, and this guy, if he fires now, would be 3 to 7. These guys have not moved, so these folks are going to try. No, they want to maintain their fire capability in case that guy goes over the hedgerow bocage. The Germans will bring in a unit here. One, 2, 3, 4. Americans will pass. Heck, the Germans are going to take this shot. 3 to 7. They'll shoot against the squad that has the leader attached. So it's -4 column. No dagger modifier. They roll a 4, no effect. This is turn 4. The Americans need to get booking. They'll pass, however, at this point. Make the Germans spend another impulse point before they commit themselves. Maybe they don't want to do that. If they don't pass, this guy gets another full attack value attack there. Yeah, they're pinned in a little bit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This score's outside of range other than the machine gun, I guess, which would be firing with 1 power. These guys are going to try to bum rush. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to try to bum rush those guys. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can see any of these hexes. Down here, they'd be shooting 3, 1 for degraded line of sight. 1 to 4. Here, they'd be shooting. Oh, wait a minute. 3 minus 1 is 2 against 5, so it's the same thing, -3. They're going to take a pot shot back there and see if they can stop that unit back here. It's out of range of this unit, so it's 3, 1, 2 degraded lines of sight. 1 to 4. It's a -3 table. They've moved, so it's -1. You need to roll big. They got an 11, which is a 10, which is a broken check. They may have accomplished their mission. 7 or better, they get a 10. So they pass the gut check and they get to finish their move. Those folks are used. Outfire was ineffective, so it's still the Germans' turn. They will try another 3 to 7 here. Desperately trying to whittle down these Americans a little bit. 3 to 7's a -4. We need another good shot. Another big one. 12, which is a casualty. They were shooting at the squad that has the leader attached. So that gives a casualty point to the Germans. The leader has to undergo a leader casualty check. Rolls a 6, so he's fine. Americans have one more impulse points. They can't group these guys. Americans cannot pass. They've got to do what they want to do. So they're gonna, no, they don't want to split that group up. What the heck, they're gonna move their sniper. He might get a lucky pot shot someplace. Germans have another squad. Boy, they're still being stretched pretty big time here. Americans have no impulse points. So they can't move. I don't want to commit my last reinforcement quite yet. Which flank is it going to be needed for worse? This gets pretty congested down here for the Americans to try to get off the board. This kind of opens up more. Might be needed over here more. I think what we'll do is he's really bringing this unit down here just doesn't do much, especially this late when all the action's gone past. I think they'll try for cover for those guys. And they roll a 6 and they get it. And that is the end of turn 4. So the next turn is turn 3.